This time, on Foghorn, we investigate molybdenum. And some other updates and stuff, but molybdenum. Welcome to the public test server, round 1 for patch 0.7.8. And you can see here we are in St. Petersburg. Why are we in St. Petersburg? Because it is Wargaming's 20th anniversary. It also happens to be the 3rd anniversary of World of Warships itself. Why St. Petersburg? Because World of Warships is developed in St. Petersburg. So what are they doing to celebrate this? Well, as part of patch 0.7.8, in the arsenal, you can see now there is a special section called Anniversary on the left. And if you come in here, you'll notice that you can buy various things to do with the anniversary celebrations. In the arsenal, there are some new resources. Now, we'll talk about these in a second, but one of them is anniversary tokens. And you can accumulate anniversary tokens through doing various missions in PTS. It's not entirely clear from the public test server how these things will be earned on the live server, because they make it easier for you to get them on the public test server, so I can't tell you exactly how you'll earn them on the live server, but needless to say there'll be some missions or some crates or something and they'll come out of them. I've actually got some crates saved up. I'll open those in just a second and we'll see what's in those crates, because I suspect that there may be some tokens in those crates. So one of the things which you can do here is you can buy Dasher dressed up in various nationality costumes. So you've got France, Germany, Japan, Pan-Asia, Russia, Britain and America. And then also there's some other captains from previous events, the space event and so on. So you've got these ones here as well. Back up the top there's a couple of permanent camos which you can buy for copper. I'll talk about that in a second. There's some temporary camouflages there. There's some patches at the bottom here also for tokens, and then also they are introducing 3 new dragon flags: Basilisk, Scylla and Leviathan. These are more like the really good camos in terms of what they give you. So Basilisk gives you 75% XP bonus and 30% credits. Scylla is 50% XP, 25% credits and 150% commander XP. And Leviathan gives you 50% XP, 20% credits and 100% commander XP and 200% free XP. This is a really nice one. And I think if you stack these together with some of the pre-existing ones and some of the normal signals, you can get some pretty good battles going on, I think. We're going to see some 5, maybe even 6-figure XPs going on there, I think, and some probably pulling in some good money as well. Now let's talk about resources for a second. There is a new resource called copper, you can see it here. But there's also been a rumour that Wargaming have introduced another resource called molybdenum. Let's see if that is true. It is true. It's not a rumour. It is correct. Now, copper can be obtained from rank battles, and you seem to be able to use it to buy permanent camos. I don't know what else that they will add to that, but at the moment in the arsenal, those are the only 2 things which you can buy with copper. There is nothing currently in the arsenal which you can buy with molybdenum. So I don't know what that's actually going to be used for, but I would imagine that it's going to be something very similar. Permanent camos or something. But it is true, it is there, it is coming. Don't know what it's for. I'm sure there'll be more updates on that. Also anniversary tokens, which is a temporary resource just for this next patch, so that you can buy the stuff that I just showed you from the shop. So let's open these 7 containers and see what they are. I've got some anniversary containers saved up here. I did some missions earlier and I got these. So let's open this one and see what's inside. And indeed you do get tokens from the crates. And actually this might start off the collection. It does indeed. Train and gain. If I click on that, it'll take me to the collection. There we go, new collection. What is the prize for this collection, I hear you ask? It is a super container and a flag. That's very nice, I like that. The prizes for the individual sections are 10 World of Warships anniversary camos, 10 Basilisk flags, 10 Scylla flags, and I'm sure you can see what's coming here, and 10 Leviathan flags, which are the really nice ones. And then the super container at the end. That's very nice. I like that. Looks like it's quite a quick collection, not many items. And like the previous anniversary collections, it will be things from the last 12 months, I think, of World of Warships. Also, in 0.7.8, there is a new season of Ranked. So the current season of Clan Battles is drawing to an end. We're just, as I record this, we're just about to enter the last of the 3 periods. So when that comes to an end, the next patch will come out, and that will include the next rank season, which is the 10th rank season. The format will be, I think, identical to the last one. I don't know if it gives us any information here. No. So ranked this time will be the same as last time. So tier 8 initially, up to, I think it was rank 10. Was it rank 12? I forget. But the first part will be rank tier 8, and then tier 10 will go from rank 10 or 12 up to rank 1, and then when you get into the Wolves League at the top, it drops down to tier 5. And there'll be various rewards for doing that. Each, if you've not done rank before, each rank has a certain reward attached to it, whether it be some signals, some camo, some premium days, doubloons, things like that. And then also there will be silver and copper rewarded for your positioning. There are 2 new interface changes within 0.7.8. One is over here in this little configuration item for what you can see in terms of camo and ships and things. So it used to be one big list with some little eyeball things next to them. What they've done, because that list is actually now getting quite big, and I guess on I'm about to talk about this, but on a lower resolution screen, or now a screen which has the UI scaling turned up, like I've got here, because I'm recording on 4K here, that list is probably going to start encroaching up into here. So what they've done is they've nested into 3 categories, and I guess those categories might grow as well eventually. This top one covers spaceships and Halloween, so you can turn those on and off. You turn them off by toggling there. Historical ships, so Hunt for the Bismarck and Battle for North Cape, you can turn those on and off. And then this one is all the, what I think of as the fun stuff, so this is all the anime stuff, Go Navy's in there, the Dragon, the Arpeggio, which is the luminous ships, the bright ones you can see. So you can turn all those on and off. It's just a bit more organised. The other thing which I cover in a separate video, which I will link to here, is the UI scaling, which is very exciting for me. I will show you very quickly, but if you go and check out my other video, I will explain more. This new slider here. If you play in 1080, this probably isn't going to be that useful for you. You can change the UI scaling a little bit, but if you play on a 1440 monitor or a 4K monitor, or a larger monitor if you're very, very lucky, then you should be able to make the UI the size that you want it. So if I just very quickly put this back down to what it would normally be like on 4K, you can see it's very, very, very small. This is what my live game looks like at the moment. It's very difficult to read, but if I press that button, it automatically selects a nice scale for me. And it makes everything nice and easy to read, which as a 4K player of World of Warships, for me, is fantastic. If you want to see that more in action, go and check out my other video. I play a game a little bit and show you the difference between the two. So let's come back now to what most people I think will think of as the main event. So here we have some French ships. One of the things they want to test is the new main battery reload booster, which is available from the tier 6 up. If I hover over there, you can see this, what it does there. That's obviously the premium version. If I select the silver version, so you can see what it does is for 15 seconds, this upgrade reduces the load time of the main battery of the ship by 50% for 15 seconds. So if your reload time is 12 seconds, I'll come back to 12 seconds on the Shard in a minute, then for 15 seconds it goes down to 6 seconds. So I'll show you what this looks like in game in a second, but basically what it means is that during that 15 seconds you're firing at double rate, except your reload is 6 seconds now. And so actually what it really means, depending on when you press the button, it means that you get 1 or 2 extra shots during that time. So when you think of this idea initially, you might think, oh, double the fire rate, that's really overpowered. But actually what it does is it just gives you a couple of extra shots maximum, maybe just 1. So it's really useful in certain circumstances. I've found just playing with it. One of the circumstances it's really useful in is if something comes out in front of you broadside, so another cruiser for example comes out in front of you broadside, you've got AP loaded, you can fire 2 quick volleys into the side of the ship and maybe you'll get double the damage that you would have done otherwise. If you're just spamming HE downrange, it's not going to make a lot of difference to your damage during the game because you're only going to do an extra, 3,000-4,000, maybe an extra fire, that'll be it. But if you're AP into a broadside, it's going to make a significant difference. So it's a very situational thing. The other thing it enables you to do is switch ammo types. So it's a bit like having the commander skill. So expert loader, which enables you to switch shell type 50% quicker. This effectively does the same thing. You have to fire a shot to make it happen. But effectively it allows you to change. So in that circumstance where something pops out in front of you broadside, you could fire your first HE volley, if that's what you happen to have loaded, pop this ability, and then in 6 seconds later you'll have AP loaded, whereas normally you would have to wait for 12 seconds if you don't have expert loader on your captain, which many people do not have. So I think it's quite useful in those 2 situations, getting 2 lots of AP out in the space of 1, and then also changing from HE to AP in a hurry. The reload of this is actually slightly different at the different tiers. From tiers 6 to 8, the premium version reloads in 120 seconds, the silver version reloads in 180 seconds, so that's the cooldown time, and then tiers 9 and 10, it's 120 and 80 for the silver and the premium respectively. So the Saint Louis and the Henri get to use this a bit more quickly. You get the same number of charges, I think, but you reload it a bit quicker. Coming back to the load time, so in the notes it says that in order to balance this, extra reload, what they've done is they've actually increased the reload time on the Charles and also on the Saint Louis up to 12 seconds, so slight increase, just to balance off the fact that you get these extra shots. And actually overall, thinking about the fact that you get 4 charges with the premium, I think if you take Superintendent you would get 5, so you get potentially maximum of between 5 and 10 extra shots during a match. Which is actually 5 to 10 is actually quite a lot. Obviously if you don't take the premium and you don't have Superintendent, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 extra shots, which I don't think quite balances out the increase in load time. So actually overall, in terms of pure DPM, I haven't done the maths, but I suspect this is either exactly the same, and they've actually done a good job of balancing it, or it's a very slight nerf, which would be interesting. But this does allow you to be more powerful in certain situations, so in that sense it's definitely a buff. Whether that's useful is kind of up to your playstyle. It depends on how you play the ships, I think. People who stay at the back and just spam HE downrange probably aren't going to find this that interesting. People who are quite aggressive with their French cruisers, I think, will find this very useful. Certainly that's how I play them at the higher tiers, and so I'm quite looking forward to playing with this, and I have played with it a bit on PTS and it works quite well. So I'll play a little bit of co-op here, so that hopefully there'll be a good chance of me getting that situation where a cruiser comes out in front of me broadside, and I can show you what having this actually allows you to accomplish. Okay, so let's launch a co-op battle here, and we'll see how this works. I've just picked up Superintendent with my commander, so you'll see that I have one extra usage of the reload booster, just to make sure I get a good chance to show you what it does. Bottom tier on PTS, as in live, it is a fully representative testing environment. You can see there down at the bottom that because I've taken Superintendent, I've now got 5 uses of the premium reload booster. And I reckon with 1 or 2 extra shots per use, that's going to give me 5 to 10 extra shots if I use all of them during a match. As I said, if that's going to be HE downrange, that's not a massive difference. But if that's AP at a good target, that's a lot of damage potentially. It also means that if someone makes a mistake, they don't have a chance to correct their mistake like they would do normally. Like if you turn in front of someone, you go broadside. Normally you've got that 12 to 10, 12 heavy cruiser reload to correct your mistake and keep turning and get out of the way or get behind cover. Now you don't have that luxury. So I'll see if I can get around side of these cruisers so I can show you what's going on. Obviously I would not do this in a normal match. So it's the I key, so I have to stretch over. Fortunately I've got quite big hands. So I'm going to fire and immediately press I, and you'll see that my reload is now 6 seconds, and I can punish him again and get the kill. I wouldn't have been able to do that, and I've already reloaded again. Actually, my ship isn't fast enough here, and I've broken my rudder. So I wouldn't have been able to get that punishment on that first ship if I hadn't been using the reload booster. In this case I think my teammates would have finished him off, but had I been on my own, then definitely it would have taken me 6 seconds longer to get that kill. In which time he may have citadeled me, he might have torped me, something else might have hit me. And so ends our demonstration. As I said, ignore the gameplay. That was just to try and get into a position where I could demonstrate the new ability. I think you can agree in certain circumstances it's very useful. In some circumstances it's completely useless, and as I said, it depends on the playstyle. It's not a configurable option. So if I go back to the port here, there isn't anything else to choose, so it's not like if you don't find it useful you can choose something else. You have to take it, but if you're a distant HE spammy kind of person in a French cruiser, you're probably not going to find it that useful, but certainly if you push, I think you'll find this very nice and very useful. That's it for our roundup of 0.7.8. I expect that to be released probably in the EU on the morning of Thursday the 16th of August. Obviously that may vary, and everything in this video is work in progress. The patch cycle is usually 3 weeks, but it's not always. I am expecting it roughly Thursday the 16th of August. In other regions it's a different day, I think, so you may be one day either side of that depending on which region you're in. I hope that gives you a good idea of what's coming. Please do go and check out my other video. It's only a very quick one on UI scaling if you're interested in that. And I will see you soon. This time on Foghorn, we investigate rumours of molybdenum. Molybdenum.